I'm Meg Turney, and I like anime.
I'm Ross Everett, and it's not my pot of shabu shabu.
Getting better.
Okay?
This week we watched Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. I like this anime. How do you feel about it?
What about it? I was waiting for something to grab me, but the protagonist isn't likable.
Lita!
There's like very little action. I'll give it that the music in the background was very cool. But so I watched this with subtitles as you recommended, which makes it a lot harder to retain for me because like I'll read something that they're saying and then I'll be like, oh wait, like what are they talking about again? But it took me like the learning curve, I guess I'll call it. Took me a little bit to get into it. But this anime was about this girl that moves to Tokyo to work at this boomer factory, and boomers are like robots that help clean up after a giant earthquake. And then they have a tendency to go awry, and then there's like this division where it's like the police want to control the awry ones, but then there's like these rogue, what are they called? The Night Sabers, who defend against, because I guess the police are kind of inept against fighting these things. Anyway, so this girl decides that she's going to join the Night Sabers, and then like just immediately gets in.
Well, not really. I mean, she follows Pris around. So Lita doesn't trust the boomers. She doesn't really like the boomers.
She hates them.
But the boomers do all sorts of different things. They don't just clean up. I mean, she works under a boomer at her facility. I mean, they're just androids that do different things. So like some are doing hard construction, some are, you know, like personnel. Like it's so they kind of do everything. But you're right. They do go awry once in a while, and the Night Sabers put them down because the police suck.
But they didn't do a great job of vilifying the boomers from the get-go. Like it just seemed like this girl was super racist against boomers.
No.
Like it felt like almost like an analogy for the class system of like, oh, like these dirty boomers getting like doing the blue collar work and just doing all the lowly work, and we hate them. But like you see one go awry, but it looks nothing like any of the other boomers that you see. It just looks like there were evil boomers made, and then the other ones that kind of function in your everyday life.
They go crazy in factory. I mean, that guy looked like that before he went nutso in the factory. Like he was doing some factory work, and then he was like, meh.
He's like, never mind. So then you see a little bit of the politics getting into it, where like there's a really misogynistic boss who I was like, okay, like he has no reason to be showing up while this girl's mopping in the bathroom. Just like from a story writing perspective, it just felt like they were like, all right, how do we get this done? Well, let's just have him show up. Let's just put him there.
I don't know. He's just kind of like a creep that you're not supposed to like, and he like creeps on all the new hires and tries to use his power to sleep with them.
Yep.
I didn't like it.
Welcome to Tokyo.
I loved that Leon-chan hated his name. He was very upset, and it brought up, you know, like using Chan as like a familiarization or like a pet name for someone. He like hated it. He was very upset that the little girl kept using it for him. I thought she was adorable. I loved her. I thought that was cute. I thought she was fantastic. Pris is a badass. I freaking love Pris.
Except for this one thing where it's like, I want to join the Night Sabers. Well, you said the one thing that's going to let you join the Night Sabers.
No! Pris made Lita follow her, and Lita had to have the courage to follow Pris where she didn't know, you know, if she was going to jump her or what.
There was nothing that said that this girl would make a good robot fighter. These are robots. I'm not wrong on that. It was not my favorite. No bubblegum. I was totally misled.
No bubblegum.
Zero bubblegum. But are you going to continue watching it?
Yeah, this is an old favorite of mine. I really like Bubblegum Crisis. I love that she's like a rock star and also like a badass robot fighter, and then she goes to like her band rehearsals. And...
But they're not a good band. like the band is even like, we suck.
Oh no! They need to work on their new song.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Would you watch it?
No. I'm done. I was very excited to be done with the second episode because I didn't even want to start it. Like,
oh, wow.
The animation style of this, I was noticing that a lot of the background and foreground pieces would move because like they weren't separate elements, and that's not the style of anime that I found myself like enjoying when we watched these. Like, I like the Soul Eaters. So what kind of anime was this?
So this is kind of a seinen anime. It follows under, most people would say a seinen anime, but I was actually looking up because I personally thought seinen, and then I was like Googling to make sure I was right, and a lot of people were like kind of going back and forth between shonen and seinen, which is kind of, you know, one is an umbrella, rectangle, square kind of situation. So long story short, seinen anime. With some mech elements, obviously.
Oh, the robots. And this is the first time that we've even seen something with like kind of real mech elements into it. Which, starting this, I thought everything was Gundam.
Yeah, no.
So, I've learned. And there's a lot of nosebleeds.
Next week, we're actually watching something newer, which might catch your interest. We're watching Dot Hack Quantum.
Dot Hack Quantum?
Yeah, it's like .hack /
Okay.
quantum.
All right. That sounds. I'm intrigued. I like internet things. Although, did you see when she was hacking into the internet and it was like just like the total 1990s view of the internet? We're gonna go through a series of wires.
Yeah,
Look at this
it did
laser
the
beam cutting through wires.
kind of thing, and then she just does a lot of this, and then the girl's like, "I'm gonna take this floppy disk and I'm gonna make your computer explode," and it's like, "Oh, okay."
I'm super okay with that. That was the part of it I was really okay with. If you guys want to watch and review with us next week, you can go to netflix.com/sourcefed. Gives you 1 free month of instant streaming, which is really cool. Helps you out. Helps us out. Watch the video, upload it to YouTube, and put in the title #SFNHack. We'll find it, and we'll put you guys at the end of the video, just like these people.
We did it, guys. 2 straight weeks without a hypersexual anime.
My biggest problem out of anything is the animation itself. There are horrifying points of animation where you have the 2 characters who are walking around. The backgrounds are static. Like there could be a mall full of people and you hear all the voices in the background, but you're not seeing any movement, and it kind of loses the luster that is good animated background.
I actually like the premise of this. I feel like if they went with different animators and they got some more interesting dialogue going on, I would be in, but it's not there.
Ultimately, it's okay, and the dubbing's not brilliant. The animation's okay, I guess. I mean, it's definitely nowhere near as accomplished as FMA was. It's kind of mostly balls out action, which is an ironic term, I think, because there's no balls in it because they're all women.
I always thought this anime was so badass because it's about girls and they get to dress up in these wicked cool lightsaber mech suits and go out and just kick some ass.
I love sci-fi anime, but I'm not sure that I'm a big fan of this one. The animation on this is so limited that it is painful for me to look at.
The plot is very basic. Good guys, bad guys, 80 police caught in the middle. It's okay to have a simple plot every once in a while. Not everything needs to be a brain strain.
This is one of those anime that I feel you should at least check it out and see it. I think it's got a great storyline. There's good development of the characters as we go along.
The vision of the future feels very 80s. The concept that all the keyboards are just plain black screens and then you press buttons and they light up, so you just have to know where they are. And there's also still a mouse and the keyboards are really clunky. There's still a lot of cabling, which is, you know, a very 80s vision of the future, which is not a problem. It's just not particularly sci-fi for a modern audience. It's very alternate future.
I gotta go to this really exclusive club meeting.
Wait, can I join?
I don't know. Yes. It's a secret password.